Now you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but about, I want to say 10 months ago, maybe a year ago, maybe 14 months ago. I don't know the exact date, but we watched someone on this channel by the name of Fooly or Folly, or I don't exactly know how to say it properly. Now, I think you can see where his channel goes. I think he loves Call of Duty. But like just by the titles, I think that's what we can go off of. Now, he's got a video on here that says, don't buy Call of Duty Black Ops 7, or don't pre-order Black Ops 7. I'm pretty sure we watched a video by him last year that told us to not buy Black Ops 6. But as you're going to see, he clearly bought Black Ops 6 because in his videos, he's playing Black Ops 6. Now, I didn't know which one to do. Some people recommended that we check out his videos, kind of see what we agree with, see what we don't. And I looked at these videos and I'm just like, oh, they're all very similar. But the one that came up and recommended the most for me was Absolute Disgrace, the brutally sad news for Call of Duty. So I guess we're going to find out what the brutally sad news for Call of Duty is today. Let's find out.
Guys, today's video is going to be a bit upsetting for a lot of people, myself included, because you see, the purpose of the channel is to see some improvements in the Call of Duty franchise, and even if it means I need to rage bait and be critical on a very regular basis, I'm super down to do that. I find it to be very, very enjoyable.
Okay, so here's where I struggle with these type of channels. There's like really 3 of them that I get recommended a lot. Nero, out of all of them, is by far the one that I know legitimately wants the game to be good. I think sometimes he gets brought into the idea of, I need to make these videos to make money, and those are the ones that get views. I think Fooly is 100% on that side of things. Like you just look at his titles, they're all rage baity. And then Blame Truth is just the king of rage bait. Like, we know what he does, and he's good at it. He's really good at it. But we got to judge and see, in this video, does he legitimately want the game to be better, or is he complaining just to complain? Because the one thing that I don't like when people complain about is, oh, all the studio cares about is making money. I'm going to be honest with you, 99% of game studios, that's what they care about, because as soon as a company goes public, like Call of Duty, it's all about making back the stock price for the investors. And the thing that you have to realize is that, yeah, the CEOs and whoever are taking home way too much money, but the average investor in anything is like a normal dude. It's like me or you who just takes their money, put it in a fund. Maybe you invest in a company, and like maybe whether that company does good or bad, maybe it decides whether or not how much money is in the budget for this year or anything like that. The CEOs are the shitty people. Anyway, I digress. Let's see what he's saying.
But there is a sad reality attached to what Call of Duty...
How are you feeling about the Blame Truth fan base rating your video? It doesn't matter to me.
Is nowadays, and the success behind Call of Duty as a franchise is something that I hate to admit. Obviously, being Call of Duty's #1 rage baiter, you know, the scat master has cognitive dissonance, whatever the fuck that means. And it really does pain me to say that the good old days, the glory days of Call of Duty, they are simply gone. And even when we see the old games resurge in popularity, in my opinion, what I gotta share with you guys today is some brutally sad news for Call of Duty.
Okay, go on.
Before I get into it, I'm gonna need you guys' help with something. I need you guys to leave a like on today's video, because I'd like for this to be spread out for as many people to see as possible. And there's a button down there that says...
I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I would like most of my videos to be spread out so more people can see them. So
subscribe. I highly recommend you guys press that. We're on the way to 50,000 subscribers. We've been making insane fucking progress. You know what to do down in the comments below. #Foley50. Guys, we got a stream later today, and I'll announce what that is very, very shortly. But without further ado, check out this tweet from Charlie Intel. Call of Duty was the #1 most played game in the US on PS5 and Xbox during the week of June 29th through July 5th.
See, that's wild to me, because I truly believe that Call of Duty does way, way, way better on console. I feel like they just always have. They like started as like a console shooter. But yeah, it's wild. It's above Fortnite. It's wild. It's above Roblox. GTA 5 makes sense that it's down there. But it's wild. It's wild that it's so consistently number one, even though that it was dropping. And like we see number 2, number 1. So people who always say Call of Duty is dead.
Call of Duty World.
Oh yeah. Also, World War II was number 8.
War II was the 8th most played on Xbox after being added to Game Pass. And we could go ahead in here and take a look at what it looks like for Call of Duty. And the week prior, it was number 2 and number 1 was Fortnite. But Call of Duty HQ is ahead of Fortnite, NBA 2K, Roblox.
You know what's weird though? Nothing happened in Call of Duty that week. There was no event, was there?
GTA 5,
actually, what
Minecraft,
week was it?
Marvel Rivals, Madden, WWE, and I know the Gooch Slickers are frothing at the mouth looking at that with some of the easiest reads and obvious responses any Gooch Slicker would ever have. Talking about, in quotations, game is
What's wrong with licking Gooch, dude?
dead, lol. And when somebody says it combines everything from the HQ, of course it's going to be first, the response is always some random ass cope. In this instance, this guy says that's certainly one perspective. Another POV is that.
So here's the thing. Here is the thing, right? We also know that they're planning on separating Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3 out of the Call of Duty HQ. So this response will not be there. So in other words, you're going to have Warzone, probably Black Ops 6 and Black Ops 7 all in the HQ at once. It's what it sounds like is going to be happening. And that might even change in and of itself as well.
Combining all of them into one entry leaves open spots for the rest of the top 10 for other games to enjoy some of the spoils, so to speak. If World War II by itself reached number 8, where do you think the more recent CODs would be if they were separated from HQ?
Actually, that's a good question.
Man, what the fuck is you talking about?
What the fuck was that?
I'm sorry.
This is why some people don't deserve to have fucking mouths. Or I guess on Twitter, they don't deserve to have fucking fingers, okay? Because
I mean, it's really actually not a bad question. If a 8-year-old Call of Duty game is traditionally at number 118th on the Xbox, like where would a Modern Warfare 2 or Modern Warfare 3 fall? Like why is that a bad question? I actually would be pretty fascinated by that.
Only so much cope you could find inside of your tiny ass brain to come up with random shit like this, okay? Let's bring this back up right now because there's 2 things we gotta talk about. We gotta talk about current COD and we gotta talk about World War II. Remember, COD HQ has an asterisk next to it. Why is there an asterisk? Well, we've talked about this plenty of times, but that includes Call of Duty Warzone 2.0, MW 2019 Part 2 and 3, and Black Ops 6 activity. What does the activity mean? It means special ops. It means zombies. It means DMZ. It means campaign because campaign is online now, which is fucking stupid. It means multiplayer. It means Warzone. It means anything that you can do in Call of Duty nowadays is all being tallied up together in combination to just barely beat out Fortnite, which has been around for like, I don't know, 8 fucking years at this point. A couple of sports games, Roblox and GTA that have been around for God.
I love how he dismisses, it has more players than any other game on there. Oh yeah, just like some sports games, some shooter games, some wrestling games, all the games. It's better than all the games. Well, it's not better, but it has more people playing it.
God knows how long. I mean, guys, this truly isn't that impressive. And before we take a look at World War II and what World War II was able to do before it got shut down again, let me just remind you that the numbers on Steam tell an entirely different fucking story for Call of Duty. The last time I talked about the Steam charts, they weren't even able to break 70,000 concurrent players.
Yeah, the Steam numbers are bad, and that should be looked at, and there's definitely reasons for that. I think the main thing would be hackers, right? When your situation on PC is you have to play with the hackers, where on console you can make your matchmaking console only, that's probably going to be one of the biggest reasons why those numbers are going to falter. Now the crazy part is a lot of people play on Battle.net and not Steam. So there's that too.
As of yesterday, they are barely reaching over 65,000, guys. That number is getting lower and lower and lower. And I know, it's Steam charts. You keep bringing us Steam charts like they matter. Well, I'm glad
definitely
you bring
matter.
that up, because in addition to that point, you know what the gooch slickers always be out here talking about, right? Oh, you complain about Call of Duty, but you still play it. Well, that's where I'd like to bring in this tweet from Charlie Intel, where he says, unfortunately, new report claims.
I wonder how he's going to tie this in. But yeah, that's what actually I brought up at the very beginning of this. In his video last year, he told us all not to buy Black Ops 6. And in that video, I was like, guarantee you, we'll come back to this person 3 days after launch. They'll be playing it. Well, it looks like they've played it quite a bit.
Splitgate 2 developer reportedly paid over $400,000 to influencers to stream and play the game. Splitgate 2 has now lost 90% of its player base on Steam since its launch. No! The reason I bring this up is for two reasons. Number one, this is the game that is being streamed today, so if you guys want to pull up to the stream, we're playing some Splitgate 2. If you want to see me get fucking smoked and probably get upset and pissed off, this is where you want to be. Trust me, it's going to be a funny ass stream. But not only that, while everybody wants to discount what Steam means for Call of Duty, all of a sudden Steam means something when it comes to a game like Splitgate 2. And let me be straight up, these numbers.
Do I have to say it? Do we realize that he's telling us, okay, Call of Duty's number one on Xbox and PlayStation. Those numbers don't matter. But the Steam numbers now do. Okay, so console numbers don't matter, Steam numbers do. Unless you're talking about Splitgate, then Steam numbers matter. But was Splitgate even on the top 10 games on console, on Xbox, or play? Okay. All right.
Numbers are not indicative of the enjoyability factor of Call of Duty or Splitgate 2, but I just find it interesting that people will pick and choose when Steam counts and when it doesn't count. And you guys know my stance on this. In the current state of which Call of Duty's in,
I'm almost 100% sure that Swag does not get paid to play Warzone. He probably has in the past on certain events, but not just to play it on a daily basis. Most games don't do that. I know for a fact that Splitgate's numbers, the $400,000 number, that's actually pretty low for influencer marketing, like actually really low. And I think what they tried to do is take that number and put it into certain people. Like I know they put a bunch of money into like Scump, for example, but I also know that their marketing budget got really pulled and people pulled back on it, and they didn't finish a lot of their contracts, but some of the streaming contracts were paid out. That's from behind the scenes. That was what I do know.
I'd like there to be more options to play. Unfortunately, we can't play X-Defiant anymore, which fucking sucks. And in the case of Splitgate 2, apparently, according to everybody, the game is completely and utterly fucking dead, but Call of Duty is somehow not dead because it's at the top of the fucking PlayStation charts, even though it...
Okay, this is like the stupidest fucking statement I've ever heard. I don't normally get this mad, but like, okay, he's using Steam numbers in particular. Okay, let's just do this. This is why people are calling it dead. If I go, no, you know what? Let's start with Call of Duty. Call of Duty charts. 43,000 people right now, 81,000 peak in the last 24 hours. So let's even just take 43,000 players, right? 43,000 compared to, let's go Splitgate 2. I bet you it has around, what, 900 right now? Oh no, 652. That's why people are calling it dead, right? Call of Duty has almost 100 times those players at a given time. 100 times. That's the difference. Like, just to be clear.
It's 5 COD games combined into one, and according to the Gooch Lickers, the Steam charts don't count, but I guess they do count for Splitgate 2, which is fucking wild, but okay. Well, if it weren't bad enough that X-Defiant is actually dead, and that people simply don't have respect for Splitgate 2, that's where the right side of this chart comes in handy, because you see that Call of Duty World War II went from a ranking of 118 to number 8 before it got shut down. If this isn't proof that people don't want to play the current COD, and when the older CODs become more available and accessible on certain platforms that they'd rather play those, then I don't know what does, man.
What it actually says is Call of Duty's been around for a long time, and when the game's made readily available, people want to play Call of Duty. That's what it actually says.
By the looks of it, World War II wasn't even one of the better CODs of all time. This is not a COD from the golden era. Okay, this is way after. This is after the jetpack era. And then Black Ops 4 came out a year later, and it was a little bit different. And then we got the dark ages of COD, which is MW 2019 through the present day. All of those games, I'm sorry if you disagree, but they suck balls.
That shit stinks.
And so when it came to a game like World War II, I didn't go into it expecting it to be the best Call of Duty of all time, because it's certainly not. I wouldn't even say it's in the top 5 CODs of all time. And when that game came out, let's not forget, it was unpopular as all fuck. And when they finally overhauled
the 24-hour peak for Black Ops 1 is about the same amount of players that are on Splitgate 2 right now.
everything, a majority of the player base was already gone. So this game did not have that popularity factor to it that the current CODs do, and yet it goes from 118 to number 8. Guys, people want to play the older COD
Hell yeah, they do.
Okay? The only reason that current COD is topping the charts is that Activision found a way to essentially clickbait their fucking shareholder.
No, that's not it at all. The answer is that people want to play Call of Duty. And if it was a better Call of Duty with better updates, with a better anti-cheat, even more people would be playing it. Like, that's the actual truth. Like, the two things can exist at the same time. The game can be garbage and people still want to play it. And that's the sad truth. That's the actual sad news for Call of Duty. Is that even when Call of Duty is bad, it is still better than most of the games that come out.
Okay, you want to call me a rage baiter, clickbaiter? Motherfucker, that's what Activision does, not only to you, but their own shareholders, man. Because Call of Duty HQ is not Call of Duty. Call of Duty HQ is a combination of several of the current games.
Does he also realize that that's the same as Fortnite and Roblox? Like, should we just put that out there? Like, Fortnite includes Lego Fortnite. It includes that weird kind of Counter-Strike mode that's in it. It includes Fortnite Creative. It includes all of that. Right? Like, it's the same thing. So does Roblox. Roblox has all of those different games. I mean, if you included the numbers of mobile Roblox, it would get decimated, but that's not what it is. But like, we realize this, right?
And any mode that you can possibly play combined. The fact that Call of Duty and Activision were essentially able to monopolize the FPS genre in a way where they put out a game every single year to great success, unfortunately, that's something that we have to admit, and especially in an era where some people don't want to play Black Ops 6, so they go back to MW 2019 Part 3. And guess what? Their numbers still counts on COD HQ regardless.
It won't
Again,
for long.
I hate to admit it, but this was a fantastic strategy out of Activision. I mean, it's manipulative as all fuck, but it literally works, which is why this is so unfortunate that you see a game like Call of Duty World War II climb up the charts this goddamn much, and yet within that same week, it's dead. And we've talked about the RCE issues and the exploits where people can essentially hijack your PC and how unsafe it is to play. We've already talked about
He knows that list is from console, right? Like, he knows that that's for Xbox and not PC Game Pass. Like, he knows people can still play it,
at
right?
great lengths. World War II is a game that deserves significantly better. Could you imagine if Call of Duty HQ was not the HQ? Could you imagine if all of these recent games, Black Ops 6, 2019 Part 3 and 2, were separated from COD HQ? I don't think Black Ops 6 would even be in the top 5, maybe not even in the top 10, And for as much as people enjoy MW 2019 Part 3 more than Black Ops 6, I think 2019 Part 3 would actually be a little bit lower. And 2019 Part 2, I mean, brother, toss that motherfucker in the top 500 of this fucking chart, you know?
I need to rewind this.
People enjoy MW 2019 Part 3 more than Black Ops 6, I think 2019 Part 3 would actually be a little bit lower. And 2019 Part 2, I mean, brother, toss that motherfucker in the top.
So what he's saying is if those games were separated out of HQ, no one would be playing them and they'd be low on the list. But at the same time, it's the only reason why there's so many players on COD HQ.
500 of this fucking chart. You know what I'm saying? Like, that game sucks balls. And again, for a game like World War II, 8 years after the fact, to compete with some of the games on this chart, it says a lot about the old Call of Duties before MW 2019, guys. And that's the sad news that I have, is that we can't go back. Anytime we attempt to go back, there's always some issue that Activision doesn't give a flying fuck about. They're still gonna charge you full price for a broken, busted ass, hacked infested game.
I mean, yeah, but that's what the Game Pass thing is doing, right?
And therefore, you're never going to see that resurgence in the old COD games the way that World War II just saw. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if someday in the future we get like Black Ops 3 on Game Pass, right?
Unreal.
Like, that game would shoot up to the top 5 in my opinion.
It would,
That's
yeah.
my guess. Unless, of course, there are RCE issues and hacks and exploits in that game too. But the fact that they even allowed us to play this game for free once again, I mean, it was honestly a great move. And that's coming from Call of Duty's biggest rage baiter. You know what I'm saying, guys? Motherfuckers want to talk about, oh, Fully, all you do is hate, you never have anything positive to say. Sorry. I'm telling you guys something extremely positive right now. World War II wasn't even the best Call of Duty game of all time, and yet I had so much more fun on it than I did on any of these current CODs. And to see it shoot up to number 8, I mean, it's in the top 10 of that week. Like, seriously, could you imagine if Activision never invented the COD HQ? Where would World War II be in comparison to a game like 2019 Part 2, Part 3, or even Black Ops 6? But
It would be above all of them but Black Ops 6. Like, this is pretty obvious, isn't it? Like, just like the way that it works, it just would be. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, the game was put out for free. Of course there's going to be more people playing it. Do you know what the most played Call of Duty ever was? It was Black Ops 3. And it was because at one point they put it on PlayStation Plus and people could play it for free for like a month or something like that. So it had like it was the most, not sold, but played game, Call of Duty game ever because of that. So like, we also have to know that Black Ops 6 is on Game Pass, right? Hence why it's so high as well. So like, we know all of this. And like, I wish they would actually, and they're removing Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3 from the COD HQ. So those numbers will no longer be in play there, but it's going to be Black Ops 6, Black Ops 7, and Warzone are all going to be on there. Yeah. It's just pointless. It's absolutely pointless what he's saying. In one breath, he's saying, oh, the Steam charts matter. And the other, he's saying they're not. And then he's saying, oh, no, Steam charts do matter because that's where Call of Duty is going down on. And then he says the PlayStation and Xbox charts don't matter, but that they do matter. And then all of the other games don't matter. And then they said, oh, it's all combined together underneath the banner of Call of Duty HQ. But at the same time, Fortnite also is all combined together. And so is Roblox. And guess what? All of the top games are. It's all of those because they made a creator economy. The only game that doesn't have the creator economy is Call of Duty. So the fact that everything underneath Call of Duty HQ is made by Activision is actually kind of impressive, because if you look at Fortnite and you look at Roblox, half of those are just community created content, which I truly believe, and I think it was T-Dog that said it first, that's what the next step forward for Call of Duty would actually be. Will they do it? Probably not, but it is what it is. I don't know. Stupid thing to complain about. You're complaining about numbers, and like not one thing in there did you say, except for maybe like the hacking, fixing the hacking. But other than that, we didn't even talk about what should actually be fixed in game. He just wants older Call of Duties, which guess what? He could go play them if he really wants to. But he's not. He's playing the game that he told all of us not to buy.